Hello and welcome once again to the Doki Comfy Cast. See, I can say it right. Joining me this time, we have some new additions, but as always, I have my co-host, Fun.
How do you?
We have today with us, Bean.
What's poppin'?
IHFY.
Hello.
Lapua.
Ew.
Or just Lap.
Either or, really. It's Tulsa.
And Necro.
Hello.
And as always, we will start with our most popular question. What have you been playing this week? And I'm going to start with Bean, because I doubt he's played anything.
Actually, I've been playing Hitman. I played all the original ones as a kid, loved them, and I caught them on sale, so I've been playing the new one, the one that came out in 2016. I've actually been really enjoying it.
Fair enough. You've actually got some good, decent taste there. I'm sorry I misjudged you.
Love you.
IHFY, what have you been playing this week?
I played some Total War Warhammer on my ancient, terrible laptop and then got a refund after 2 hours. Bought Warcraft 3 because I found out that's $10 and I haven't played it in a long time. And I played Overwatch and never again.
Just like anybody else who plays that game, never again. Just fucking uninstall it now. Lap, what have you been playing this week?
Mostly a mixture of Rainbow Six, H3VR, and Girls Frontline, basically. I'm a fucking weeb.
Look at this motherfucker being able to afford VR.
Gotta flex on everyone.
Necro, what have you been playing this week?
Oh god, I've been no-lifing WoW really hard.
You poor bastard.
Yeah, no, it's terrible, but I love it.
Fun, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing a lot of Europa Universals 4. It's a very good game for if you like history and strategic stuff. I got introduced to it by a Keiko.
A Keiko?
A Kiko, a Kako, I don't know.
Hakuna Matata?
Yes. Anyways, I was introduced to it by him, and it was a bit hard at first to understand, but eventually I got the hang of it, and I really like it.
Brilliant. Fair play. Myself, I have been playing some more Hat in Time, which I've been streaming for the server and my friends. I have also been playing Super Mario Party for the Switch. Thank you to Kazandel for sending me that. Also, never send me Mario Party again because it's lonely playing by yourself. And honestly, that's about it for this week. That will now lead us into our first topic of this podcast. And for once, we have something decent and won't be a misfire. Seeing as though we are primarily a Doki Doki Literature Club server and a supposed Doki Doki Literature Club podcast, we're actually going to have something related to them.
Now let's not be crazy.
Yeah, let's slow down here, Chief.
What was your first playthrough of Doki Doki Literature Club like? And afterwards, I will ask another question relating to that. But first, let's just get through that. So, Bean, what was your first playthrough like? Like, what were your thoughts?
I was really bored starting out just because it takes so long to get to the spooky stuff, because that's how I heard about it, is, looking for a good spooky game. Once it started going downhill, I had a blast with it.
IHFY, same question to you.
Yes, I have played it, and my first playthrough was blackout drunk at 4 a.m, and it fucked me up for like 3 days.
The best way to do it, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Lap, your turn.
Sad to say, but I saw a playthrough of it before because I'm not good with getting spooked.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, fair enough, but yeah, I saw someone play it. I decided to play it myself. I had music on the entire time because, fuck, when I got to that CRE scene, I just couldn't handle it, man. But after I did eventually finish it, I mean, it stuck with me. And kind of like a bear trap, you just never got out of it.
Huh, fair enough. Necro, your turn.
Oh man, so I heard of Doki Doki Literature Club, and a bunch of people on my Steam friends list were playing it, and I asked somebody about it, and they told me that it was an H game. I'll check this out. It must be pretty good.
For free, no less.
When I started out, I went for Yuri because,
Impressive posture.
yeah.
Purple.
And then Sayori's depression reveal happened, all of a sudden I found myself really invested in it. When it hit the hangout, a little while that kind of messed me up. I honestly didn't see that one coming. I realized this was not a nice hentai like I was promised. But at that point, I found myself really interested. Like I was invested in what was happening and why. I was just looking for more. Like I don't think I've ever really had an experience like it before or since. And that's how I made my way to a Venezuelan basket weaving forum, talk about a 4-hour meme game.
Fantastic. Fun.
The way I learned about it was one day I was just surfing on my Steam stuff, or like a month after the game had released, and I saw it in the free tab, and I went, huh, what's this? And I came to figure out that it was a little VN that was tagged as psychological horror. I've already gone through that trip twice with the Russian camp game and Katwa Shoto. I went into it with, oh, this is probably going to get spooky. So I played it knowing that things were going to get spooky at some point. And let's just say that I ended up getting attached with the characters, and things really went off the rails after the hangout and when Act 2 happened. It kind of messed me up a little knowing that these characters I've come to love are getting badly gotten rid of. So, yeah.
I feel like a lot of people have had the same response to the Act 2 nonsense. Me, myself, I have to be honest, I kind of watched a portion of the Game Grumps playthrough first, and then decided to play for myself.
You fool! How dare you not play a game first? You're an absolute loser.
Well, I didn't hear about it until quite literally June or May. Once I got past Act 1, I think I started playing the game blind once I hit just before the Sayori depression reveal, and I have to be honest, I didn't see it coming, and I was enthralled to see that the game was taking that path, because I honestly thought it was going to be, oh, haha, they're going to get naked in a bit, or there's going to be something where Sayori trips while carrying a drink and it goes all over her. And none of that happened. And then Act 2 happened, and I had grown attached to these characters because, I felt like I knew about them.
I'll admit, I mostly went for Yuri, but when the hangout scene happened, it actually kind of struck me in a way that hurt me in the inside. Like, I thought, oh, there's probably still a chance I could save her from all of this. But no, that was it.
Yeah.
Like, they gave you that choice, like whether you want to say you love her or not. And, I mean, I picked the right answer, which was that I love her.
I picked the wrong one, but the truthful one.
Oh, ouch.
See, the issue I had was, spoilers for if you haven't played this, but I imagine most of whoever's listening would have. I rejected Sayori because, she was like, I just want things to stay the way they are. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And so I was honestly led to believe that because I rejected her, that's why the hangout happened. So I figured, oh, if I reject Yuri, the same thing's going to happen, so I'll say yes.
An interesting note on the acts and, rejecting Sayori and not rejecting Sayori. I actually played through Act 1, got to the Sayori bit, and then I actually went back and did Act 1 with each other character before I did Act 2 with every character, and then before I went into Act 3, because I was like, there's got to be some way to fix this.
Oh, yeah. I'd actually like to add in another extra question. As you played through the game, did Yuri's line about writers taking advantage of your lack of imagination, did that trigger an aha moment for anyone?
No, I saw that the store page had the psychological horror tag, and I knew that's kind of a meme. So I thought I was gonna see some titties.
You see, I didn't quite imagine it was going to be what we got. It could have been a lot worse, I have to admit.
Yeah.
And spoilers, Monica even says at the end of the game, had you read the store page, you'd know that this would happen.
I mean, I thought the age warning was just a disclaimer, like
So did I.
Yeah. So did
because of
I.
the mature content.
An interesting note on Monica, like telling you should have known. I was like, oh shit, did Monica say other interesting things? And I actually went onto a paste bin of all of Monica's dialogue, and one of her dialogue lines is talking about, "Aha, I've caught you. You've looked up my dialogue instead of wading through the game." And I was like, oh fuck you.
Yeah, she knew everything that would happen in advance.
Now, to finish wrapping up my answer, because we kind of went on a tangent there. My playthrough DDLC, like, honestly, I still enjoyed what I went through because I enjoy twists in stories like that. But I had played it a second time. Only it wasn't my playthrough per se, it was for a friend on his stream, and he asked me to voice act Yuri. So that was fun.
Oh boy, hot and sexy RP sessions with Robo.
And his Twitch chat audience were like, hell yeah, best Yuri voice. So I'm proud of that. Leading on to the second part of this, what experiences do you have with other visual novels before Doki Literature Club and after? And if you haven't, then we can skip you. That's okay. So let's start again. Bean.
Do Telltale games count?
They're not really, but they're not really visual novels.
But what gameplay does Telltale games have, though?
Well, it is kind of similar, so I suppose we could count that.
It's QuickTime Event Simulator.
Yeah, exactly.
If it doesn't count, then none, because I hate anime. But if it does, then I've played a bunch of Telltale games.
All anime watchers should be terminated.
Oh no, here we go. We've lost our audience.
Hey, that's what happens when you become an anime watcher. You become the super gay.
Oh god, no.
That explains everything.
Let's quickly steer away. Iffy, same question to you.
Likewise, I have played a bunch of Telltale games, but they don't super count. I actually picked it up because I saw a psychological horror. Like, I didn't really care that it was a VN. I was just like, oh, psych horror, I'm into that. And I have not played anything since, but one of these days I'm going to get around to Cripple Girl Simulator.
Lap.
Prior to DDLC, I want to say that my visual novel experience has been mostly those fucking Sakura games.
You didn't.
I bought a whole bundle of them on impulse back when it was like Humble Bundle had them. Anyway, after DDLC, however, I tried reading Katawa Shoujo, try and fill up the hole. Didn't work. However, me and my friends now have started taking to reading Umineko no Nato Nakori, which is a decade-old murder mystery VN that goes off the fucking wall, to say the least. And we're barely on episode 2, and it's been nearly a year since we started reading it together. That's how long this shit goes on.
Bloody hell. Right then, Necro, same question to you.
I didn't really do anything with visual novels in the past for DDLC. I guess the closest thing you could say would be, I remember I got gifted Honey Pop. I played that, but that's not. That's.
Oh god, I remember those.
That's bejeweled with anime girls, so that's not a visual novel. I picked up Katawa Shoujo, and I got a little bit into it, and DDLC messed with me pretty bad. I stopped at a point, and I was like, man, if a 4-hour meme VN made by a midget did that to me, I shouldn't even bother with this. So yeah, I got out of there, and I don't plan on setting foot there again.
Poor Necro. His life messed up by Monica. Alright, fun. You're the last one. Go.
Before DDLC, I wasn't really a big fan of VNs. Like I said, I'd only played the Russian camp VN game that I can't think of the name of.
Endless Summer?
Yeah, that one, and Katawa Shoujo. That was it. after playing DDLC, I'm now going towards the direction of where if I ever play a VN again, I'm going to be very shifty and aware of what's going on. Because DDLC kind of messed me up in a way where even though I knew it was coming, it still hurt me on the inside. So now I'm just keeping on guard that nothing breaks my iron wall.
There you go. As for myself, I've not played any visual novels before or after. To put it in blunt terms, DDLC was my visual novel cherry popper.
I can't believe Robo was a VN virgin.
I was too.
But aren't all VN readers versions?
I was gonna make the same joke, and I decided I'm not gonna go there.
Too late. Already stole it from you, Chief.
We already did it. Now that leads us away from topic one. As always, our amazing fun has another ad for us.
Hi there. My name is Brian DeVenso, and I'm here with you today with a amazing product. But let me ask you one thing. Are you a lonely mother who always wished of having a son, but just couldn't because you're so damn lonely? Well, you won't be lonely anymore, because now, with my new product, Lily's Lily, I'll send a little boy to your house, and you can call him your son.
I don't think we're allowed to sell little boys fun.
Depends on where you live, though.
That's either going to put you on a list or in prison.
All little boys are realistic robots.
Okay, that's fine.
That's a nice excuse.
Get Lily's Lily for only $1. Have your own little boy that you can use for anything you want.
Anything?
Anything?
And if you call in the next 5 minutes, you'll get a bucket full of nothing for only $25.95. Now get Lily's Lily today.
I often question why I allow you to make these ads. Let's autonomously alter this path of action and head straight into our second topic. And that is love really able to be substituted with robot girlfriends? Just like that episode of Futurama. I.e., do you believe love is only exclusive to flesh and blood, or can you replace it with nuts and bolts? Bean, let's start with you.
With our current technology, no. Who knows, man, when the AI singularity happens and we got robot GFs and robot titty. I mean, I don't think it's really going to matter as long as they act human enough to, to do the do with them.
And if you had the option, would you have one of these robot girlfriends be the Doki of your choice, or would you rather it be somebody else?
I don't really like the idea of it because a robot or an AI, they're programmed by people, and that person is going to kind of let their own personality seep into it. And I don't really jive with that. And I think part of the greatest thing about, real flesh and blood titty is that it's a unique person that you're attracted to, not just, something that's been programmed to act a certain way. But on the flip side of that, you could say that all people are programmed to, be a certain way based on their environment. I'm not really smart enough to answer it, but, would I get an AI girlfriend? Probably not.
Iffy, same question to you. Can robots be substitute for love? Yes or no?
Robots and robot waifus and robots having feelings is like a huge thing for me. It's probably the only reason I like Fallout 4 and like the only reason anyone should like Fallout 4. Currently, not possible, but eventually, maybe. Essentially what Bean said.
I suppose I'd like to attack on another question, and that is, do you believe it's possible in our lifetime, or will this be like our kids' kids, if we have kids?
The population boom and just the way technology has gone from kind of a steady progress to just skyrocketing in the last couple hundred years, it might be possible in our lifetimes, and our lifetimes might be a lot longer than we think, depending on how that technology goes.
Real quick, just looking back at the past 20 years in video games, we've gone from sprites to fucking 4K, whatever we have now.
4K VR, triple penetration immersion.
Yeah.
200 years ago, back in 1818, the world wasn't even industrialized yet.
We still had slaves.
We still had slaves. Steam power was in its infancy. And here we are 200 years later, the leaps and bounds in technology. There's something, I think it's called Moore's Law, something about transistors or technology halves its size each year or each generation or something like that, like how technology is consistently getting smaller. I mean, it's an exponential increase in technology every year because we have, nearly feasible quantum computers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the applications of that are huge.
Also, to expand on the subject of Moore's Law, it's basically how many transistors can you fit? Like, how many of these can you fit on a small circuit board? And that number keeps growing each year until it eventually plateaus at a point. We've yet to reach that plateau, so until then, our technology is only going to keep getting more and more advanced.
Nice. Necro, do you believe robots can be a substitute for love, or would you rather have the fleshy deal?
I think by the point that an AI would be capable of human emotions as complex as love, I don't think they'd be robots at all. I mean, they wouldn't be made out of meat. I think to be that advanced, the only thing separating you from a human would be the material that you were made out of. So I honestly don't believe that will be a thing in our lifetime, but I've been wrong about many things in the past.
You mentioned immortality because, robot waifus live forever. But then that kind of becomes like a grandfather's axe situation, which, for the people who aren't aware, grandfather's axe, your grandfather gives you an axe and one day the head breaks and you have to replace it. And then 5 years later, the haft breaks and you have to replace that. Is that still your grandfather's axe? But now it applies to arguably sentient beings.
As long as the mind is intact, I think you'll be fine. Like, kind of like transferring the data out of your phone into another phone,
Oh, yeah.
It's still mostly your phone, but now it's just in a new shell, so to say. Ghost in the shell.
Moving on real quick. Fun, I pose the same question to you. Can robots be a substitute, or would you rather have an AI, or would you rather have the meaty article?
I think that when it comes to robots and love, nowadays, we wouldn't have the technology required to make them feel the genuine feelings that humans feel. Thus, current day, if it were to be done, it wouldn't be real love, but more along the lines of just fake love. That doesn't mean that it'll always stay that way. While I think that robotic love is weird and it seems like something that's always going to be synthetic and faked, I think AI is going to get a huge technological boost to where feelings and love in like robots and stuff will go beyond the point of like where humans are at in terms of emotions. So pretty much the short version of what I'm saying here is, for now, no, but sometime in the future, probably in either the next lifetime or in our lifetime.
Personally, myself, I don't believe you could ever substitute it. We have made great leaps in technology, yes. As for robots and AI, I mean, from what I've seen recently, there was a AI robot allowed to wander, and it just automatically decided to commit suicide by driving into a fucking pond. Then there was the robot that could learn conversations, and actually, I believe it passed, is it the Turing test?
Yeah, Turing, that's right.
Like, it could pass that, and immediately it went on to just wanting to kill the interviewer, and it was like, oh dear. I mean, even as humans, we do not fully understand love. Love is still so very complex, and the knowledge needed and the complexity to even code something similar like that, it also brings up another point. If these are purchasable, you buy your AI, AI waifu, AI girlfriend, whatever you want to call them. You spend all this money just for companionship, and if it's possible for them to fall in love, then hypothetically, is it not also possible for them to fall out of love? And if this thing you've sunk so much money into, so much time, so much effort, suddenly doesn't want to be around you, then you're just having the same problems you'd have with the real deal.
Of course, that's why I say that in terms of like robotic love, it's possible. I also think it's not possible to substitute it, because if we ever do get the full comprehension of what love is, I feel like it would just be such a waste to have a robot be able to fall in love only for it to become self-aware and understand its own situation and move on from you.
And even then, what if you were to program it to never fall out of love? Because if it's able to pass Turing tests or enough to even be able to fall in love itself, it would count as close to human as human can get. Would that even be fair to force something to stay in love with you for the rest of your life?
I think that would honestly be morally abhorrent to restrict the. At that point, I would even hesitate to call it a robot. I would just say like a synthetic consciousness like that. If it was that advanced, then depriving it of the same emotional choice that a human would have with the same amount of complexity, I think that would be just as criminal as doing that to a human, hypothetically, if you could.
And this kind of brings me back to you had asked Bean, would you make your AI waifu, for example, your Doki, or would you make it someone else? And I feel like if it's sentient enough to understand a concept like love and feel that concept, however you want to define feeling love, it would require the same autonomy to define itself. You can't make it your Doki. It's just another person.
Yeah, like imagine if one day you realized that you are yourself because you were made to be that person and you had no say in it. And I know that sounds weird, but like if one day you realized that you were a robot and you were programmed to be this person because of someone else's specification, that sounds horrifying to me.
That kind of reminds me of like the situation in an old cartoon movie I watched, Astro Boy. Pretty much after the doctor's son died, he decided to like make a robot out of his son. He tried to like have his son back by just making this robot that's just like him, but the problem comes in when he figures out that this robot doesn't at all act like how his son used to, and how it's weird looking at him after knowing the real version of his son is dead.
It really is it's one of those topics. It would be ideal, but at the same time, there are way too many things tacked on with it.
I'll throw my head into the ring when I'm talking about this. So the way I see it, it is very much possible. This is highly optimistic, but I do see it possible being in our lifetime. Like, you see the advances that Boston Dynamics have made with robot locomotion. You've seen that they've already grown artificial wombs with goats in them. And you can already see that with Japan's work on the Gatebox, that AI is already developing into the companionship market. So I very much do believe that customizable, programmable AI waifus is the future, and it could be available within our lifetime. However, the ethical components of it and also the emotional components of it is going to be, especially when you mass produce something like that, is going to be just unpredictable, to say the least. But personally for me, as long as it can fool me into thinking that it's a living, breathing thing that's in love with me, then that's fine. And even if it does have the ability to leave me, that's fine. Even if I don't care how much money I sink into it. I just want a chance, I don't even care whether or not it ends up hating me or falling in love with me. All I want is a chance.
Yeah, which anyone would want a chance, and that's fair enough. Christ, this has been the most real subject we've ever fucking talked about. I mean, shit.
This is probably the most in-depth subject/topic we've gone into on the podcast.
We've waded out of the kiddie pool, guys. We're in the deep end now.
All right, to shorten the question, yes, I do believe it's possible, and if as soon as they are available, I'm getting one, and I'm making one of Yuri. Because as of before, even if he ends up like falling out of love with me in the end, I just want a chance to do it, you know? Like, I only have one life, may as well make the best of it, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, as deep as we've gotten, I'm afraid I'm going to have to pull us right out of it, end this topic. However, it is now time for another ad.
Are you craving for a pizza? Why not have a true slice of Brazil? Order now a classic Brazilian chocolate pizza, including favelas, crime, monkeys, and gun violence. Just for the low price of $9.99, it's basically a steal at this point.
Brilliant. Now, we had a topic last time about paranormal experiences and the supernatural. Well, one of our guests today, Bean, actually has a couple of stories that I would love for him to share. So for once, I'm going to shut my mouth and let him go. Bean, take it away, please.
This is now my podcast.
Damn.
All right. So it's actually a few stories, and this
You get
stuff right here,
two.
I get as many as I want.
It's his podcast now.
Get ready,
Yeah.
guys. Sit back, relax, and lay down because Bean's about to tell you the story.
The big one was, it was me and two friends, and we was walking back in the woods to go frog gigging. I don't know if anyone doesn't know what frog gigging is, but it's
I don't.
basically you just take like a miniature trident. It's like a 9-foot long pole, and it's got, you know, prongs on the end of it, but it's not huge. And you take a really bright light and you shine it on the frog, that because frogs are immobilized when you shine that bright light on them, they kind of just freeze up, and you just spear them basically. And
Oh, so it's like classic frog hunting.
basically, and we was doing that because we was wanting to have frog legs, because I love frog legs. Me and my friends do. So we were going to frog gig, and I never really believed in skinwalkers. I mean, I'd seen some like paranormal stuff, but I'd read the green text, and I was like, okay, well, these are pretty spooky, but there's no way in hell these are real. We were back there at the pond gigging, and it's like 12:30 at night. All of a sudden, all the wildlife goes completely silent, just like in the green text, because there was crickets chirping. It was on a cattle farm too, and we ran cows on two different parts of the property, one in a big field and then one back in the woods. And all of these things were making noises, and we were sitting there gigging, having a good old time. And then the wildlife, it's gone. All of a sudden, I get this smell, and it smelled like rotting meat and copper, but not like just pure copper, but like if anyone's ever smelled blood before, kind of like that. And at first, I thought that it was just the wind. Animals die in the woods all the time, and they rot. And I thought it was the wind blowing the smell. And then I realized there's no wind. And I was like, well, yeah, that's pretty creepy. Well, my friends picked up on it, and they're like, damn, what's that smell? And I told them, just don't worry about it. Let's get back to gigging. That smell kind of fluctuated. It'd get really, really intense, and we would all start gagging and retching and shit, and then it'd go away for a while. Then came the noises and the movement. It sounded like there was something running on all fours through the bushes surrounding the pond. And it really started to freak me out, because you could see the bush moving and you could hear it run somewhere else. But I would have my flashlight, I would have it on that bush looking at it. Then you would hear it leave or hear it run, and I would try and follow it, but you couldn't see nothing. Nothing was moving. It was like they was moving without moving, but they was making a bunch of noise, and the smell, it started to get really aggressive. Like, it wasn't just running through the bushes every now and then. It sounded like there was a bunch of them just continuously running circles around the pond. And my friends, they picked up on it, and they was like, what's all this fucking rustling? And I had my gun in my pocket, and I was like, I don't know, but was just trying to ignore it, and it, just the smell started getting worse, and they started running, way faster, and it got really fucking freaky. And I finally told them, I said, look, I gave them the quick and dirty of what a skinwalker was, and that freaked them the fuck out. So they agreed. They was like, all right, yeah, let's scoot. So I grabbed the shotgun, and we were getting on the four-wheelers. And this is where it started to get real scary, because up until this, I could write it off as it's just my fucking imagination getting to me. We drove half a mile out of the woods. I'm unlocking the gate. I've handed the shotgun off, and all of a sudden, that fucking smell comes back, and I hear shit running along the ridge line, and it sounds like it's running straight down the hill at us. I get the gate open in time, and we book it out. We don't even close it. Then we get back to the house. The house was in a relatively open spot, but it still had, wooded areas on the edges of the property. This fucking smell hit us a third time, and it started running. It's like it was just trying to scare us. It was running through the woods, making noise, but it wasn't coming after us. That freaked me the fuck out. All of us, we ran down the road to my house, or we drove to my house, and we spent the night there, and we talked to my dad about it. Because my dad grew up running them woods too. Back, my dad's in his 50s. He decided to tell us about his experience, and what his experience was pretty similar to ours. Is he's coon hunting one night. It was probably 2 or 3 in the morning, in roughly the same area that we were frog gigging, and he looked up and he swears that it was something about 7 feet tall, looked like it was made of pure shadow, and he just booked it, ran away as fast as he could. That kind of cemented in my mind that I wasn't making shit up. I wasn't losing my mind or nothing like that.
Someone has another story to tell.
God damn it. I knew I'm going to have to tell this story.
Oh boy.
You're going to have to explain why nice good keeps popping up in these.
Nice good has been dropped a few times by Fun. Fun is the reason this is a thing. It was a regular day. I'd been off from work for a few days, so I was looking a little bit messy. My clothes were a little loose fitting because I was just sitting at home. My hair wasn't done very well. Looked really scraggly. I hadn't shaved. I called for food from the local pizza place. The pizza lady came, and I had a bit of an autism attack. So this lady comes up, and she gives me the food, and I give her the money, and she says, "Have a nice day." And I had a bit of a spurg moment, and I wanted to say have a good day and have a nice day at the same time, and it came out have a nice good. She shot me this look before she turned around, like, what? And then she just went off to her car, and I immediately just thought, like, I just told her to have a nice good. This is it. I've reached the bottom. And Fun thought that was really, really funny. And he hasn't let up since. And I don't really mind it.
It's been 6 months since that happened, and I've been going on with this joke, and I just can't get enough about it. So if you ever wondered why I always say, have a nice good, that's the origins.
For everyone listening, imagine you're a pizza delivery person, and you go and you deliver this pizza, and this fat fuck walks up and opens the door. And he looks like he lives in a fucking cave. And there's World of Warcraft visible on the screen behind him. And he just goes, have a nice good. It's quite a vivid, terrible picture. I know.
Sounds like a bunch of spaghetti just fell out of you at that moment.
It was bad.
You failed the charisma roll. Like, you failed it that badly, the dice would have just fallen for the fucking world.
I'm sure before, like, the day was over, the driver had already forgotten about it. But that's not the point, because I remembered.
Anyway, now you know. Now we are leading away from topic 3, heading towards our last topic, and now we can start wrapping up. However, before that, I believe we have one more ad from Fun.
Hello there, my name is Chad Chadsworth, and I'm coming at you with a brand new invention called the Black Hole Gun. Have you ever wanted to just cause mass destruction among the world without having to even lift your own finger? Well, don't worry, my friend. You're in luck because with my new invention, the black hole gun, you can decimate civilizations and cities with only one shot. The black hole gun works like this. All you have to do is pull it out of the box and then pull the trigger and kazam. When you're shooting the black hole gun, I suggest that you stand very far away because you could easily get sucked in. But hey, who cares about you dying when you've successfully caused the end of the universe? And that's all that matters. So get the black hole gun today for only $99.99.
Fantastic. You'd be a fool not to take that offer. And at least with this product, Necro will never have to nice good again.
God.
You'll definitely have a nice good with the black hole gun.
Okay, now we're just running it into the ground.
Yeah, kill it now.
To begin our death spiral towards the end, this is our final topic, and we actually have questions from our own server. And our first question is for Bean, from our very own Fedor, who was on before. Bean, how did you master shitposting?
I actually have a friend who runs a 4chan Discord, and he is the most toxic fucking person I've ever met, and I've picked up a lot from him.
Brilliant. I mean, that's the only other way I can think to explain your fucking behavior. This next one is to everyone, I believe, and it's from Erica/Marshmallow. Would you rather feel sleep paralysis or have extreme sleepwalking? Allow me to answer first. I don't want either, but I would rather take paralysis than sleepwalking.
Oh, no. Sleepwalking all the way. Sleep paralysis is horrifying because I've felt that before.
I mean, I live in a very tiny dorm, so if I started sleepwalking all around the dorm, that'd be really fucking weird. I'll take sleep paralysis any day.
I'll take sleep paralysis because I'm going to fuck the demon.
God damn it, Bean.
I'll easily take sleepwalking over sleep paralysis because the things my mind comes up with when I'm afraid really messes with me, and I don't need that.
Oof. Right, is that everyone answered?
Sounds like it.
Right. Next question, again from Erica. Who, I'm just going to front this now. Most of these questions are from Erica, and thank God. Right, this is for everyone again. If you would live through a movie, which one?
Scott Pilgrim. All the way, Scott Pilgrim.
All right.
The Hateful Eight.
Fine.
Ready Player One, but, with less normie ending.
You fucking nerd.
No, you.
Necro?
Honestly, I can't think of anything. I'm not big on movies. Can I
All
just
right, then we'll
abstain
skip
from
you.
this one? All right.
Necro has to also live through Scott Pilgrim with me. He's one of the people I beat up.
There you go. I would honestly go for Beetlejuice because hell yeah.
Beetlejuice is pretty great. I hadn't considered.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Beetlejuice world is pretty nice.
Anyway, our next one. Entire podcast crew stranded on a raft. Pick one item to keep on you, and who gets eaten first.
You skip me, you cuck.
Look, I don't care. I'm skipping you. Let's go.
You just dropped the C word. Oh my god, I hope that's not edited out.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna bring a revolver, but only with one bullet. So that way, whoever gets eaten first is whoever loses Russian roulette.
All right, I'm going to bring the continent of Asia with me.
Oh my god.
It's like a scale model.
Erica, you didn't think this question through, so I'm just going to bring the black hole gun.
I'm going to bring Yuri, and I'm going to eat her. Use your imagination.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Damn, can I change my answer to that too?
No, you're stuck with it, sorry.
Get dabbed on.
I still haven't decided who I'm going to eat. I'm just going to go with whoever's the biggest. I'm pretty sure it's not me.
Well, shit.
Robo, I hope you eat a lot of delicious, fattening foods first.
Right, who hasn't answered, just so we don't have a repeat of the last one? Fun.
I'm not sure what I would bring with me, but first one of you to go, I'm eating you. I'm sorry. That's how it goes.
I mean, there are worse fates to be had when dead around you.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot worse fates.
The less we go into that, the better.
Oh, yeah. It was bound to happen. You knew what you wanted when you asked me to come here.
Eventually. Alright, I'm going to take that as my cue to move on.
You skipped me again.
I gave you a chance.
He asked.
Say my name.
We
Fun.
we name dropped you right there, you fucking muppet.
What?
Please, before it all falls apart. Fun.
Okay, I'd take the nuke world button.
Well, damn, there goes my fresh Asia.
Nuke world button, so he's not eating anyone because he'd be too radiated and he'd be dead.
I mean, hey, you could always try.
Well, I'm gonna beat you for calling me a muppet.
God damn it, Erica, with the questions. Next, which cartoon fucked you up as a kid?
Oh.
iCarly.
That's not a cartoon.
It's an anime, get it correct.
So yeah, what cartoon fucked you up real
Ren and
this time?
Stimpy.
Oh god, Ren and Stimpy, everyone.
Ren and Stimpy was definitely weird, but I don't feel like I saw enough of it to be fucked up by it. Like, honestly, my
man.
best bet would be like, I don't know, Trigun or Hellsing. Like, those are anime, but you get what I mean?
I fucking love Trigon.
For me, it was Invader Zim.
Ooh,
Oh, fuck Invader Zim. I didn't even think about
Now
that.
that show freaked me out when I was a young lad.
I've got to be honest. For me, it was probably Courage the Cowardly Dog. That made me terrified to watch TV at night.
Return the slab.
That scene exactly.
It's the same scene with everyone who fucking watched that show. It's so bad.
Okay, now, before we forget him, fun.
Yeah, I'd also agree on Courage. That kind of spooked me a little bit, especially
Brilliant.
"You're not perfect" scene.
Oh, yeah, no. And Fred.
I mean, I feel like this is about to devolve into a Courage the Cowardly Dog discussion, but like also the weird, not quite Sweeney Todd rhyming barber who shaved the dog.
I liked that episode.
Oh, you mean Freaky Fred?
Yeah, Fred.
Not to be confused with Freddy Freaker.
Who's been naughty? Speaking of naughty, our next question isn't from Erica. Our next question is, would you publicly embarrass yourself to get your Doki if literally everyone would forget about it in a week? You get your Doki and everyone
500
forgets.
times.
Yeah,
Like, are you
dude,
kidding me?
Not even a question.
I would
Yes.
murder.
I would commit
great,
social suicide for that type of thing.
I would commit a great amount of crimes if everyone was going to
Oh,
forget
yeah.
anyways. Like, if no one remembers, it doesn't even matter. I get a Doki and no one knows how.
You pull off your thing, and then you just become a shut-in for the next week, and then you're done.
You shouldn't pull off your thing, Lapua. You're going to regret that when you have your Doki.
I would do a hell of a lot worse than publicly embarrass myself to get my Doki.
I always publicly embarrass myself, so it's no different.
The thing is,
I call that going to work.
now here's the thing. Would Necro commit nice good too?
Ooh.
Oh man, would you commit nice good if it got you a Doki?
I mean, I'd have to find a place to hide out for a week or so.
Would you commit nice good on a national level if no one forgot about it?
Attention, everyone.
Hey, look, it's the nice good man.
I would just pull a fucking Minecraft and just hide in the dirt for a week.
Anyway, the last question, because I actually like this one. What game would you want to suffer memory loss to play again? Bean.
I would pick Wrath of the Lich King expansion, World of Warcraft.
Fair enough. Iffy.
Morrowind, every time, forever, without question.
Lap.
Undeniably Halo Reach.
Necro.
I'd have to say Oblivion.
Fun.
Earthbound. It's a very good game, and I would love to play it again.
See, now, I've backed myself into a corner because I have at least 5. Honestly, it's a toss-up between Banjo-Kazooie or Hat in Time. And I believe that is that. We are out of topics. We are out of ads. We've had a nice and a good podcast today.
Father, is it over?
Yes, we had actual philosophical thinking.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer. And in that case, I would like to thank you all for joining me today. I would like to thank everyone for listening today. Goodbye from me, Robonekro. Good night from my co-host, Fun.
Stay black and have a nice good.
God damn it.
God.
No. I give up. Goodbye from Bean.
Happy trails, partner.
Goodbye from Iffy.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye from Lap.
This ain't the last time you're going to hear from me.
The nicest and goodest goodbye from Necro.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
And once again, this has been the Doki Comfy Cast. We will be back whenever we feel like it. Next week, maybe.
Kill me.